pressurization system controls the outflow of air from the pressurized portion of the aircraft in order to adjust the cabin altitude throughout the flight. The pressurized areas are shown on this frame. All controls for this system are located on the pressurization control panel, and 3 ECAM pages display the pressurization information. The system controls pressurization through use of 2 cabin pressure controllers, the outflow valve, and its actuator with 3 drive motors. Notice the inputs to the cabin pressure controllers and the 3 drive motors. The outflow valve is located at the aft right side of the fuselage, and its position is displayed on the ECAM cab press page. The outflow valve is moved toward open to allow the cabin altitude to climb, and is moved towards closed to cause the cabin altitude to descend. The air conditioning packs normally provide a constant flow of air to the pressurized areas of the aircraft. The air pressure in the pressurized areas is increased or decreased to control the cabin altitude. Here, the cruise page displays the cabin altitude with a cabin descent rate. When the air is released from the cabin, the inside air pressure decreases, and the cabin altitude climbs toward the outside altitude at a rate determined by the outflow valve position and the amount of incoming air from the packs. Here the cruise page displays the cabin altitude with a cabin climb rate. By controlling the rate of decreasing air pressure, the cabin altitude can be maintained at lower levels than the flight altitude. The difference in atmospheric pressure from inside the vessel to outside is displayed as differential pressure. The cabin altitude information is also displayed on the ECAM cab press page. On this frame, you can click to display the cab press page or the cruise page to compare the displays. During abnormal situations, if the differential pressure is too high and the vessel reaches an overpressure condition, the pneumatically operated safety valves will open to vent into the unpressurized tail section of the aircraft. This action protects the aircraft structure from damage. Normally, the safety valves will not open because the outflow valve maintains control of cabin altitude and differential pressure at the proper level. The safety valves will also open if the atmospheric pressure exceeds the cabin air pressure. This feature protects the aircraft structure from experiencing a negative pressure condition that could occur during a rapid descent. The condition of the safety valves is displayed on the ECAM cab press page. Normally, the valves are closed, and the valve display is green with the title Safety in white. When either valve is not closed, both the valve display and the title Safety displays in amber. The pressurization system normally operates automatically to reduce crew workload and enhance passenger comfort. There are 3 available operating modes: automatic, semi-automatic, and manual. The automatic and semi-automatic modes require little pilot attention throughout the flight, but the manual mode requires the pilot to manually control the position of the outflow valve. There are 2 cabin pressure controllers that each drive a separate electric motor to automatically position the outflow valve. Therefore, there are 2 automatic independent systems, each with its own controller and outflow valve motor. One system is in control for each flight, while the other system operates as a backup. Automatic switching from one controller to the other occurs 70 seconds after landing, or automatically if the operating controller fails. This is the pressurization control panel. Normally, all lights are out and the landing elevation selector is in auto. In auto, the controllers automatically cycle after each flight. The cabin climb and descent schedule is automatic, and the landing elevation is determined from the FMGS data. The semi-automatic mode is selected by pulling the landing elevation selector out and manually setting a landing elevation. This is performed when the FMGS landing elevation data is not available. The semi-automatic mode provides all automatic features of the automatic mode, but the landing elevation must be manually selected. In the event of failure of both cabin pressure controllers, the ECAM will direct the crew to press the Mode Select push button to engage the manual mode. A third electric motor operates the outflow valve when the manual mode is engaged. The pilot will then use the manual vertical speed control toggle switch to manually drive the outflow valve open or closed. To finish this module, we'll describe the 3 ECAM pages that show pressurization information. In addition to what you have learned, the ECAM Cruise page also displays the operating pressurization mode, shown here as Auto, the landing elevation setting, and the current differential pressure. The ECAM Cab Press page displays the operating mode and landing elevation on top. Just below, the differential pressure, cabin vertical speed, and cabin altitude are displayed. The operating controller, safety valve condition, outflow valve position, ventilation system condition, and operating packs are displayed on the bottom of this page. We'll describe these displays in the next module. Finally, the cabin vertical speed is displayed on the ECAM door page, although this display only appears during flight phases 5, 6, and 7. The display is normally green, but becomes amber if the vertical speed is more than 2,000 feet per minute up or down. This completes our introduction to pressurization. Now let's answer some questions.